One. Hey, family. We
Good
are
evening, family,
back.
and I'm Lord C.
Did you just do that? Did you just cut me off? Did you just cut me off?
That's how I want to speak.
Instantly.
Did that
Instantly.
just happen? Whoa. Okay. Family, we have a new co-host. We have a new co-host, and just hold on to your horses. I promise you, it will be an entertaining show tonight. I promise you that. So, hey, family, we are back with another episode of Two Black Mothers. And when Nancy Drew is out in Nashville making her $1 million deal, I had to go pull together two guest co-hosts tonight, two Black fathers. We have Lord C in the building.
Good evening.
And we have Zoe in the building.
How y'all doing?
So tonight we're going to go deep dive into some hot topics. These two individuals are not social media people at all. They do not be on social media. So tonight is going to be fun, but they're very opinionated people. Okay, I can tell you that. They're very opinionated people, and they will have a lot of experience to show tonight. So we're going to dive in. So me and Nancy has been talking about this creator on YouTube called Reese's Pieces. All right.
Hmm.
Have you all heard of her?
I have not.
Is this the legend girl?
Legion.
Sure.
Her
That
name is
person.
Legion. Yes, Legion. So have you heard some bits and pieces? So Reese's Pieces, we call her Reese's Pieces on the show. But Reese's Pieces is a creator who over the weekend, last weekend, she uploaded a 50-part series about how she married a stranger, basically.
Okay.
She and him met in 2020 during COVID, and instantly they moved in together. They had a baby together. Well, didn't have a baby. They got pregnant and was expecting. She miscarried.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
and basically, the whole relationship was a lie. The whole relationship was a lie. The whole relationship, everything was a lie. And she put it in a 50-part series. Okay. She took over the internet. She changed the way creators are now having to think about telling story time because her story time was wonderful. She made it into the news. She went from 50, maybe had 12, I would say 5,000 followers when she first posted the post to now having 2.5 million followers within a week. Okay,
Oh my
that's how
God.
serious her storytelling was. And her story struck a lot of people. Is it true? Is it not true? How did she get bamboozled in this time? How do you end up with a liar or stay with the liar for a year? I mean, they got divorced. I think the divorce was finalized at the end of 2021. So they was married for a year, but she didn't find out till almost a year about the whole lying thing. She started to get the red flags was throughout. The red flags were throughout the relationship, but she did not pay attention to those red flags. Why didn't she
Hmm.
pay attention to those red flags? What was it that made her stay with this young man the whole time? And to come to find out, he said he was a VP of his company. He wasn't a VP of his company. He was a forklift driver, but he said that he was a VP. Okay, nothing against forklift drivers, but that's not what he was.
Right,
Okay,
right, right.
he said he had brothers and sisters that he really didn't have. He said someone died. His grandmother died in 2020, and she really died in 2008.
Oh.
He said a lot of things that was not true, but she stayed with them. She ended up being pregnant probably a month or two after they had entered into a relationship. She started to be pregnant. She got pregnant. and she miscarried. And when she went to the hospital to have the surgery of them taking the baby, he wasn't there. He had to go for a meeting for work that he actually does not work at.
So he, at the most important time in their relationship, he's a no-show for what? Did she come out to the reason to why? And first of all, before we continue, your first question of why she missed the red flags. I mean, every guy knows that if she likes you enough, she gonna believe whatever. You ain't gotta lie. She gonna lie to herself. You know,
Lie to
even if
herself about what?
oh yeah, I mean, so he said he's a VPO, right? And he's a forklift operator. So there's some
Mhm.
income disparity there, right? There's a
Mhm.
major income disparity.
Okay.
Now, he, an average person would go, well, where's all the money at, right? A woman
Mhm.
who or individual who wants it to be true don't care where the money at. They want the money eventually, right? It's a
Eventually when?
meaning like, oh, we getting married. He gonna take care of me. I don't have to worry about it. My life is secured. I got a good man. It's the basic idea. You remember Insecure? I remember the girls said on there once that college educated men want you to kiss their ass because they went to college, right?
Mhm.
It's the whole idea that if a man appears good enough on paper, they're going to treat him like he's actually good enough, whether it's real or not. I mean, back,
So
go
if
ahead.
she is but he's lying to her about certain things. So here's
She ain't
one
dumb,
incident. Well, she's not dumb. She's a very intelligent woman, but she's
right?
a fool. There's a difference. She's a fool, okay, but she's not dumb. So they were supposed to buy a house together, okay. He said, "Let's get it. Let's buy a house. I'm going to buy a house for you. I'm going to buy
Hmm.
you a $750,000 house, and I'm going to pay cash for it." Okay, this
Okay,
is what he's saying.
big baller.
Took her around looking at all these houses, time to make an offer for the house. The realtor say, "I need proof that you have cash." He says, "No, accept my offer, and then I'll show you proof." That's not how it works. The realtor says, "I need to see the funds, your earnest
Proof of
money
funds. Yes.
for this house." He says, "Take my offer and then I'll do it." Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The deal fall through because he can never show proof of funds. She was like, "Okay, well, let's move on. Let's get a new realtor. Look for another house." So we're out looking for another house. The realtor say, "Hey, before we even can look for a house, I need to show proof of funds." Once again, he say, "I'm not showing proof of funds until I get a house." Now, we're married. Why is these red flags? Before we even get married, why didn't I see money in the account before we got married?
Forget the money in the account. Did he never take you to dinner? Did he
The
never buy
first
you
date was
anything?
Cheesecake Factory. He was paying the rent
Winslow is laughing
monthly.
at the
Why
cheese.
are we laughing at the Cheesecake Factory?
Because they remind me of this first video that I saw like a month or two ago of this silly conversation that women are saying, oh, there was this girl arguing with a guy because he wanted to take her to Cheesecake Factory, and she was like, that's not, you can't take me to no chain restaurant. You got to take me to somewhere nice and fancy. He's like, girl, I just met you. If I made $1 million a year, I promise you I'm not going to spend $1,000 on you on a meal. I may have 4 or 5 dates in a week. Why am I dropping 500, $200 a meal? No, I need to spend the time to get to know you. So I think it's funny when women complain about Cheesecake Factory. It's a silly concept. And I think
It
that
is, but they went to the Cheesecake Factory. That was their first date.
good
On
for
the
them.
first date, on the first date, when they're meeting at the Cheesecake Factory, her tire blows out. He comes and rescue her in
Okay,
his white
Superman.
horse. Yes,
Okay.
comes and rescue her, pays for her tire to get fixed, and
Okay.
takes her to the Cheesecake Factory. Love at first sight, right?
No.
Okay. Speak fluency.
All right.
So let me start from the beginning. So I have red flags, money, lies. There was a comment that Mr. Zoe, there was a statement that Mr. Zoe made, and I wrote down, all things are not true for everyone. So if you get involved with a liar, 9 times out of 10, not 100%, you are a liar too. If you get involved with a cheater, you are a cheater too. If you get involved with a whoremonger, you are a whoremonger too. We fall for our mirror. So if I'm in a relationship with you and all your shortcomings, more than 100%, they're mine as well. So if I'm not addressing my shortcomings with myself or with a mental, let's say a counselor, pastor, or a good friend. So if I'm just, every time I wake up in the morning, I put my suit on and I go to drive my forklift, but I told you I own the company, then only individual showing up is the liar. So the liar, so everything. So she sees this guy. Oh my God, he's going to put me in the house. He has this amount of money, or he's capable of achieving this amount of money. So she's fallen in love with the fairy tale.
Yep.
My question to you, because I didn't ask the age, the ethnicity of this woman, is she falling in love, or she just meeting him and marrying him because she's of age, she feels alone, or she wants to be in love and have a genuine relationship? And if she desires a genuine relationship, then she has to have a genuine relationship with herself first. And it just sounds to me she does not have that. That's why, in my opinion, she got caught up in the lies that he told. So that, and he doesn't love himself. So if somebody don't like you because you're a forklift driver, or excuse me, your penis is 4 inches, then that's not for you.
Still can hit
But
the
see,
G spot.
she didn't know. She didn't know. She didn't know that he was lying in the beginning. She didn't know.
But I think what Lord C was saying, that my original point was, she was lying to herself.
Absolutely.
How?
Because if you, there's a certain point where you can lie to me, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I don't know you well enough to say you're lying, so I'm gonna accept it. A year, you've got to be lying to yourself to fall for anything for a year. You will live with this man, right?
And I would like to also interject, after 90 days, the representative leaves and the real person shows up.
Yes.
No, for every day, he will get up and have a conversation on the phone that he's talking to his family, and he was actually talking to himself. He would have a conversation with coworkers and reprimand coworkers, and he was only talking to himself. So he lied. He put on this fairy tale, as you would say, Lord C.
Absolutely.
He put on this fairy tale for her. And why do we fall for that?
Well,
why?
I think
Well, answer after Mr. Zoe goes. Or Mr. Zoe.
I think this is, first of all, is he schizophrenic? Because that's beyond crazy.
He's a pathological liar.
I mean, I've heard of no, neither of us are.
Oh, yes. Okay.
No, he's an extreme narcissist. But to the point where you
agree.
are having imaginary phone conversations is insane. I've never heard of it going that far. But it's still, things can't add up. I know forklift operators. The best forklift operator probably making $60,000-$70,000 a year, right?
Well, he's getting his money from somewhere, because eventually they did see each other bank account, and he had about $10,000 in one bank account, and I think about $5,000 in another bank account. Yeah. But he told her he has about $700,000 in an offshore account.
Right. So I believe
which was a lie.
I mean, if you got no kids, you're making $50,000 to $70,000 a year. Shoot, if you're making $30,000 to $50,000 a year, you can save $15,000. You got no kids. I understand that. Lord C, go ahead, because this is making me mad. Because this girl is a victim. I understand that she's a victim, but mama ain't raised no fool, and she sound insane.
So, Mama C, I am going to always be 1000% transparent with you. And I have learned through my experiences, because I have for a while dated people that were emotionally unavailable. So I had to ask myself, was I emotionally unavailable? And I could tell myself all day long, no, I'm not. It's all in what I am projecting. The universe is going to give you back what you're projecting. If it's a lie, the universe will know. No one else will know, but the universe will know. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't know the lady, but I would like to just sit down and meet her and to see where her shortcomings are, not for the sake of to poke fun at her or to belittle her in any way. But when we have shortcomings, when it comes to affairs of the heart, we normally draw other people in that same manner to us, and they become our mirror.
Right.
So I would venture to say maybe it's some work she has to do, because I hear you and Mr. Zoe talking, and it's always about a dollar, whether it's equated to a career path, a sale of a home, a credit score, the car we drive, or even down to the rags we wear. I think we as a people should stop equating worth and quality with those, to me, superficial things. If he just was honest and came to her and just say, you know, hey, this is what it is, so forth and so on, it'd have been better. But what was she looking for? So again, I wanted to ask, does she really want true, authentic love? Did she want to just have a baby? Did she felt as though she was too old and she needs to marry someone? What in her mind, and there was nothing wrong with her marrying him sight unseen, but when you buy a car and you've never seen it, you get what you get. You get what you pay for. Just like they say, junk in, junk out. And that goes for the whole spectrum across our lives. So we got to, when it comes to a marriage or having a baby or buying a home, we have to look at the big picture. It's not always about that second win. What about tomorrow? What about next month?
But she didn't have the opportunity, Lord C, to see the genuine person. She didn't have the opportunity because he approached her with a lie. And that lie was great to her. And the truth could have been great to her as well. But he didn't give her that opportunity to fall in love with the truth, because he don't know how to give the truth.
Absolutely.
Because he has a mental issue.
And
so
I
he don't
agree,
know how to present the truth.
And I agree with you 100%. But we have a survival mechanism within inside of us. For you all, it's called a womanly intuition. The Holy Spirit, whether you're connected or not, would say, red flags, stop, go sit your monkey ass down. That's all I'm gonna say to you. And in my opinion, I think you women, no, and it's not I think, I feel strongly you women are more connected to your feminine paralysis inside of you, your womanly intuition. Now, if you're broken in that department, when I say department, the affairs of the heart, if it was a marriage because of the affairs of the heart, if it's just superficial, then superficial falls away and it becomes an illusion. And for me, we have to stop living in the illusion. So what? He had $700,000 in the offshore account that she never saw. She saw a banking account for $10,000, or he fixed her tire. Doesn't make him a good quality candidate to be a husband for life. And I think we as men and women need to stop doing that. What are the qualities of what are we looking for? So if I go on a date,
but he had some great qualities.
I didn't say he didn't.
He presented the great qualities,
and
which is
there's a
changing
difference
the tire,
and
paying the rent.
Absolutely, and there's a difference between presenting and possessing. There's a total difference, and so I don't know the lady. I'm assuming her red flags did go off in her because that's what the universe does, but she just went right through them for whatever reason. That's what I feel.
Because he was paying the rent.
Exactly.
So then, and the majority of people that I know, when they have particularly African American women, because I know mostly African American women, and I do Caucasian women, when they have a man who's paying the rent, then they become their slave. I just had
Mm.
this conversation last week with a friend of mine. She lives in a very well-to-do area here in Maryland. She drives the latest Mercedes-Benz SUV, and she is a flight attendant. The home
Mhm.
is around 750,000. The
Mhm.
car is a $90,000 car. She's got Gucci and Chanel and all that other stuff. But when he wants sex or whatever he wants, so she's in the middle of doing something. She's hanging out with her friends and having a drink, or we're talking, or she's taking care of her mother. If he calls, she drops everything and she has to go run because he is paying all the bills.
Mhm. Are they married?
No, he's paying the bills, and her daughter attends one of these very expensive schools here in Maryland, and he pays the daughter's tuition. So when that man calls, she has to go running.
So,
Mhm.
fun thing. Now, there's this whole male versus women, toxic masculinity, feminist movement going on, and the male side can be extremely toxic, and they say some extremely toxic stuff. And but there's one thing. And by the way, I listen to both sides because I don't believe you can participate in any conversation you're not if you're not willing to hear both sides. So
Absolutely.
one thing I heard one of the guys say is that men love organically. If a man who make $1 million a year will take up with a girl from McDonald's, and say a lady who makes $1 million a year is not going to take up with a man from McDonald's. Oftentimes, women become slave to the man's paycheck, right? If you
Mhm.
talk about when you listen to any internet, any meme of what do you like in a man, they want him to be no shorter than 6 foot. Want him to make used to be 100,000. Now they want to make $250,000,
I
right?
agree.
They want him to have a 9-inch member, right?
Yep.
It's these lists, and it's all things that involve security. They
All
want
these
tall,
superficial things.
all these superficial things. So like every man who's over 6 foot, who played sports, who had the gift of gab, understood that all you had to do was not say the wrong thing, right?
Absolutely.
You women talk themselves into sleeping with you. You don't talk a woman into sleeping with you, right? And more men talk themselves out of the draws than they talk themselves into the draws, right? So in this situation, she was lying to herself
That's what I
because
said at the very beginning.
she was not looking for the red flags.
Absolutely.
Now, with the
Was she looking for the dream that she thought she was getting?
yes, it's easy. It's easy. If I tell you right now, close your eyes, right?
Mhm.
Well, matter of fact, open your eyes, look around, tell me everything in the room that's red, right? And then I say, close your eyes, tell me all the brown that you saw. You would be able to tell me anything about the brown, you because you were focused on the red.
Focusing on the red.
She was
Mhm.
focusing on what he could provide, so that's what she was looking
But
at.
is that not what you should focus on? What should
No,
you
and
focus on?
this is where the statement of men love organically was something that resonated with me because when you men are very cavemen in their approach to love and affection.
Very physical.
Yes, she looked this way. I like the way this looks and how this makes me feel. And in the same sense, they know I don't want a woman that disrespects me. They know that I want a woman that makes me feel good. I want the number one most attractive thing. If every man who understands himself will tell you the number one most attractive thing in any woman is a maternal instinct, the instinct to nurture and take care of you and
And
make
to
you
mother.
feel
Yep.
to
To
mother.
mother. Absolutely.
And now some got too much mother issues, and then it just becomes weird. But the ones that have a good balance, they like a woman who cooks, cleans, and blah blah blah. Now, it does not mean that she has to cook, clean, and blah blah blah. It's just a something that makes a man feel good to know that she can do that for him.
Mhm.
When a man is going to a relationship and he has the ability to pick and choose, he's going to pick someone based on the qualities that are important to him, like her physical appearance and how she makes him feel, because
Mhm.
those are what are important to him, right?
Especially how he makes her feel, because our egos are more acceptable to be attacked or to what's the word? A man doesn't want to
Sensitive,
be demasculated.
emasculate. No,
Mhm.
no. So he's going to pick that girl. Now, a woman is going to go into the situation going, security first. If a man is 5'4", 250 pounds, but he owns a yacht, he's a 9. He was a 3
Absolutely.
before, and now he's a 9.
Yep.
A man goes, oh, she's 5'4", 150 pounds, she's an 8. She got a yacht, she's a 9. It matters a little bit because it means you can have a better life, but it doesn't matter more than anything else. And I think the mistake she made is she made his VPO position, the $700,000, matter more than anything else, and that's why she was easy to manipulate.
Security. So
Yes.
Exactly.
security man.
She
But
bought.
that's what we look for. We're
She bought.
looking for
She bought.
security.
She bought
But
into. She bought into the fairy tale. So the lesson for me in this, which I've already known, you have to stop looking for the fairy tale if you can't bring it yourself.
Hmm.
they want a man
That's all.
that do all this.
No. Let's go back into that. Let's go
Mhm.
back into that. So you're looking for someone who is equally bringing you exactly what you're going to bring to the table. So what?
No.
So okay. Well, let's say that it was going back into that again.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not looking for the fairy tale. So let's
Okay.
just say I like someone right now. Someone is makes my heart pitter patter.
Okay.
However, I know for sure that that's someone that makes my heart pitter patter could fail me in any area, whether it's cooking, love making, paying the bills, or being there emotionally for me because I'm a very cerebral person.
Mm-hmm.
So at any point, that person could fail me. Then
Mm-hmm.
what? So, and I think a lot of, let's say, women, the female species, they buy into, in my opinion, the illusion of a man. So he has to be able to protect, to provide. He has to be
Mm-hmm.
able to be stunning in the bedroom. He has to have a credit score of 750. He has to drive a Lexus. He has to have a penis size of 12. So
12.
she can run
Damn.
around and tell everybody, Daddy putting it down.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to be great with money, even if it's
Mm-hmm.
your money that he's great with. So that's the fairy tale. So if she is not a awesome woman in the bedroom, she can provide for her own house and pay for her own house. Um, she can drive any car that she chooses to drive, or she could care whether she drive a clunker or not. Those are things has nothing to do with the affairs of the heart. And normally, or what I believe, or my generation believes, marriage has to do with affairs of the heart. Are we in love? Do you love me? Not those other things. And just like Mr. Zoe said earlier, some women will, not all women, that's why I said all things are not true for everyone. Not
Facts.
all women are for security. Someone will tell you, I don't need a man. Just put it down in the bedroom and I'm good. No, see you tomorrow. Bye. But it just depends on the individual. But I believe she's a very untruthful person. So she married
Why would you say she's untruthful though?
She lied to herself.
because she married that habitual liar. And
But
so
she
like,
didn't know he was a habitual liar
no,
when they
she
got
didn't.
married.
I'm a venture to say, I could be wrong because I do not know everything. On the outside, she didn't know. I said earlier, Father, Mother, God, energy, the universe told her, and she went right through those red flags. So what you have in you that you don't like about other people are called shadow beliefs. So if her shadow beliefs kept showing up and she went right through them, those were the consequences. You're heartbroken. You're being betrayed. Now she's reliving the hurt. And I would love to talk to her to see what man hurt her prior to meeting this man. Was it her grandfather? Was it her father? Was it her brother? Was it her uncle? Or was it a previous relationship? We keep repeating life over and over again, the stuff that don't feel good to us until we learn the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And it just
I
sounds
agree.
like to me she hasn't learned the lesson.
Her lesson, yes.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully she learned her lesson in this with this young man, Legion.
Okay.
Hopefully she have learned her lesson.
Mm-hmm.
She got divorced. Divorce
Okay.
was finalized. She
Mhm.
told the story. Now she's on a roller coaster of she's taken the world by storm about this story. And
Absolutely.
she was honest throughout the whole story. She said, "This is not going to make me look good in any way." She knew there was red flags there. She's
Absolutely.
admitting them
You
now.
just admitted what I already said. Yep, I
But
agree.
now, but
Hmm.
in the midst of things,
Absolutely.
she didn't pay attention to them stones that God was throwing. She didn't pay attention to
Absolutely.
those. She kept going. She kept going. This is a good man. This is a good man because he was paying the rent
He was,
that
okay, say that
qualified him
again. He
as a
was
good
doing
man.
what? You didn't say,
Paying the rent.
right. You said he was paying the rent. You didn't say he was truly loving her. You said he was paying the rent.
He was, but that's what she equals to love. Security.
Absolutely. And that's what I said.
Security.
Can
Absolutely. And
can I?
that's what Mr. Zoe said earlier. And I said the same thing. So she fell in love with the illusion.
Mm-hmm. Go
I
ahead, Zoe.
I'm going to do something that I felt like we have said the entire time what she did wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
We tabbed a little bit on what he did wrong. I'm assuming she's a black woman.
She is.
Okay.
I
I'm
assume
assuming
that as
she's
well.
I'm assuming she's young.
Well, she's not older, like in 60 or 70. What is your take on young? Is
33 and
she
under.
20? She's
33 and
probably
under.
30. Yeah, she's probably no, she's probably a little, she might be 36, 40. I'm not sure. She didn't say her age.
Okay, okay.
Well, I didn't recall her saying her age.
I'm going to say that it sounds like I'm going to speak for myself that I'm blaming the victim. And I want to say this from the bottom of my heart. I love black women. Black women need to be protected. Black women need to be loved. I
I
am not I am not demonizing her and excusing his action. What he did was despicable, right?
I agree.
I don't think we need to talk about how bad the devil is, right?
Mm-hmm.
As we
I
already
think
know.
we already know. I think we need to talk about protecting ourselves from the devil,
Absolutely.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this circumstances, I don't know the full story. I don't know this young man, but this story sounds like he's the devil in this situation, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about her protecting herself and other young black women or middle age or whatever age protecting themselves, white women, all women, right? Protecting themselves. So it's not beating the victim, it's helping us understand that we have to make changes to protect the women and the women to protecting themselves. I think that the illusion of security that men provide is an old fashioned thing that needs to die. And here's why. I think I've said this to you over the years. I believe in 20 years, women are going to run the world, right?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Say that again.
I believe in 20 to 30 years, women are going to run the world. They have a
As
higher,
they don't right now.
that's not what I am saying.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Okay.
You see that coming in hot.
Yes.
The women are graduating from college at a higher rate. They're buying homes. Single women are buying homes at a higher rate. The black woman is the, if I'm last time I heard and checked, was the most educated group of individuals in America. I forgot the wording of it. Obviously, take that with a grain of salt because it's been some years since I came across the article.
Okay.
But the women are educated. They're earning more money. They're
Mm-hmm.
becoming stronger. The they're making more than men nowadays. So the idea
Mm-hmm.
that they need
Sometimes.
except for the pay gap, the
Mm-hmm.
way, right? See, a lot of qualifying is going to be said here. Okay,
Yeah.
so it women need to understand that they need to be looking for a man that's going to treat them right, not a man that's going to provide the security. And I heard this story a while ago. It was in the news. We are talking about all the women that are making $250,000 or more, complaining that they can't find men on their level,
And I read
right?
about that.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's you've never heard of a man making $250,000 going, I can't find a woman on my level, because you're not looking for someone to be on your level. You're looking for
That's their
a partner.
ego coming in, though.
But
Absolutely.
that's where you get manipulated.
Yep.
That's when you end up in bad situations. That's when
Absolutely.
you get into bad relationship because you're looking for someone on your level
Absolutely.
versus looking for a partner. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I don't agree with that all the way.
And that's okay.
I can look for a partner, but why can't I have a partner that's on my level?
That doesn't mean you can't. I'm not saying go take up with a guy or a woman or a person, they, them, her, whatever pronouns you choose to go by, that are flipping burgers. I am not saying that. I am just saying that as a man, when I was dating, I knew one or two things, right? If I don't make a certain level amount of income, I am automatically in this category. There's certain women, once they start talking, I'm good. Because I'm going to end up getting my feelings hurt, right? I remember one time, this lady, I asked her, I was young, 17 years old, would you like to go out to dinner? And she said, where you going to take me, McDonald's? I'm like, come on, lady. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be kind, professional, show her some respect. Emasculated immediately. She did me a favor, though.
She did you. I was going to say that she did you a favor
because I learned my place, right? And I learned
no.
And I learned that that woman is not for me.
Okay, so let me go back to one thing. When you just said you learned your place, absolutely not.
No, does not mean my place is
no. I'm speaking. Absolutely not. You did not learn your place. You learned, like you said, second, that she wasn't for you. Now, we are all children of the Most High. We all should be treated with respect, love, and kindness, and every ounce of potential that's in us should be cultivated by anyone that we meet. So you didn't learn your place because there is no such thing as a placement. Amen. That's this psychological bullshit that social media has created, and we as intelligent beings, we have bought into that bullshit. If you like a person, you're like a person. That's why love sees no age, it sees no color, it sees no gender, and it sees no career path. That's not spirituality. That's bullshit that man has created.
So do you believe love is blind?
No.
I do not.
You just said love doesn't see any color, any gender, what does it see then?
Yes.
What do love see?
Let me, because I know you got the answer to that. I'm just gonna put it like this: I can love a woman, but if a woman beat me upside my head, what does that mean? Love can't be blind. Love got to make sense. Absolutely. Right? Love being blind means you accept any and everything. Absolutely. Right? Mm-hmm. You have to have a standard of respect for yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? If a woman says
you accept a limit, because there's some things, because you love an individual, you accept things that they do.
No, I understand or respect. I don't accept.
Absolutely.
Right?
So you telling me some things, and it could be the littlest things. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me it's some things about your partner that gets on your nerves that you don't allow, even though you love them.
No.
That you don't accept.
No.
So it's some things you don't accept in your relationship because it gets on your nerves, but you don't accept it because you love them.
So accept means that the way I look at accept is I look at it like this is the way it's going to be. There's nothing I can do about it. I've never approached any situation like that. You've met me, right? I will allegedly. Always state my allegedly.
We will address the issue.
Right. We will address the issue. Now, whether you do or do not choose to change the issue and the concern is your business. But I'm going to always address it. If I say, hey, do not leave that there on the floor, and 5 days out of the week, you leave it on the floor, and I say something 5 days out of the week this week, best believe next week I'm going to say something too. Now, it doesn't mean every single time I'm going to say something. Sometimes I'm going to keep the peace. Once in a while, I'm not going to say anything. But more times than not, I'm going to say something. And I think that's the difference between acceptance.
You accept things.
That's not accept.
Well, I'm going to call it people pleasing because that's what I used to do in the past. Now I'll tell you, go set your monkey ass down.
But you have to say that you accept things in relationships because you love an individual.
I did in the past because I wasn't in love with Lord C. I'm in
Okay.
love with Lord C now. So no, set your monkey ass down.
So some things in your relationship you will not accept, even though you're in love with them. You're in love with them. Some things you just won't accept, or some things you will accept. You have to be able to accept some
Let,
things.
let,
For me,
mhm.
that's a learned behavior. For me,
Meaning,
that's a learned behavior. There's some things I just will accept. Like I said, I will address it.
okay.
So for me, when I'm addressing it, I'm not. So I say to you, I don't like it when you do that because it makes me feel this way. I'm
Mm-hmm.
addressing that. That's not me accepting the behavior. I'm addressing it. Now I know if that person came with that, that's going to be the work that has to be done before marriage comes. That's why I say that you can't buy a car, you can't pay for a car and never seen it. That's you always say, Lord, see, you got to stop worrying about going to the store and just buy it online. I'm gonna just order from Amazon. And you know my point of view is not gonna do that. I want to touch this shit. I want to feel this, see if it's the right color. Will it gonna fit me? I know I can't do it all the time, but I've said to you, so I am addressing the issue in the conflict that you're in, the disagreement that we're having. I'm not an online shopper like you. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where you help me to overcome. Now, do I still accept it? No. That's what you do. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, I think when you say accept,
Hmm.
do you mean like you're okay with it, even
Yes.
though it bothers you? I
And
mean,
you
to
don't
a
say
certain.
anything about it.
Well, I mean that's a hard one because I don't think there's anything that I accept, but I don't think that I pick a fight and argue with every single day
Well, I
because
Mm-hmm.
don't accept anymore. I had to learn, I had to fall in love with Myron. I have to realize that I was good enough, that I was worth it, that I deserved better. I had to realize where
Excuse
I came
me,
from.
young dogs. I mean, your fellas, keep going. I forgot my dog is outside. I forgot he was out there, so keep going.
for an hour. I I definitely agree with you in the falling in love with yourself because I believe when you have a certain level of standard and respect for yourself, you don't allow yourself to deal with it that
Absolutely.
does not benefit you. Now,
Absolutely.
the Legion, legend, whatever his name is, I
Mhm.
heard of the story because I heard of people talking about the story, and I heard that it was 52 parts. Now,
Mhm.
in my head, I'm never going to listen to that. I don't care how good the story is. I don't care how captivating of a storyteller is. I don't care. That's
Why wouldn't you listen to it?
because it's 5 to 10 minutes, 52 parts of someone else's problems that's not going to benefit me or improve my quality of life.
So you
Now,
never watched a series of a season's episodes.
I have not watched something that is not benefit or improve me, and I purposely try my best not to. Now, does that
You
mean?
watch nothing
Oh,
for leisure.
hold on, hold on. That does not mean that I don't turn on the football game and watch my boy Patrick Mahomes tear him up. Now,
Excuse me.
hold
Excuse,
on.
which is not benefiting you at all.
Yes, it is. And if you know
Oh,
anything
I'm
about
sorry.
sports, it releases endorphins. Okay, it gives a sense of
Releases
camaraderie. Hold
endorphins
on,
can be
hold on.
released by other things besides sports, sir.
That's not what I'm saying. You're right.
Okay.
You don't have to pick everything apart. This is not an argument,
I'm,
but I'm saying very specific things here. My very specific things that I'm saying is I'm not going to partake in a 52-part series of something that's not going to bring me actual tangible benefits.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I watch Patrick Mahomes play, it brings me tangible benefits. When I watch cartoons with my sons and I see Tatum laughing and cracking up, it brings tangible benefits. When Tatum
So
goes,
that gives me the answer of why you have not tuned into Two Black Mothers.
oh, that's funny. That's funny because Myron, just so you know,
Lord
I,
C.
huh?
Lord C.
Lord C, I apologize. Lord C,
Okay.
I've watched 4 different episodes, a total of maybe 55 minutes
Two
because
minutes.
that's rude. A total of maybe 55 minutes. I tell her I piece it
Because it
together.
does not release your endorphins. I see now.
No, no. You release my endorphins. You make me laugh. I laugh at you. No, do the topics release endorphins? No, right? So for me, the topics are not captivating in something that I consume. The only reason I watch it is because I find you funny and I'm trying to support my friend, right? But if anybody else was talking about it, nope. I love Shannon Sharp. I am not watching a single podcast that man is on. 3 hours for what? I don't give a crap about Cat Williams. What?
He has the nightcap. He has the nightcap with him and Ocho.
I watched 2 episodes of the Nightcap right after Patrick Mahomes played, and I wanted to hear what he was going to say about my boy Pat Mahomes boy. That's it.
Okay.
And I watched those sparingly, and it took me, I think it was over 4 days to watch 55 minutes of it, and I was like, nah, this too much. It's no structure. I'm like, nah, I ain't got time for that. So
So we know her series is not for you.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's why you say at the beginning, I'm not on social media. I'm on social media when it comes to financial education. I'm on social media when it comes to real estate. I'm on social media when it comes to self improvement, health, mental, physical health. I'm on Instagram watching reels about that kind of stuff. And yeah, I come across some funny videos and I send you some, I send my son some, send my wife some, all that. But I'm not participating in nobody's drama. And if I come across some drama, it's got to be under 3 minutes. I got time for 3 minutes of drama. I ain't got 52 hours. No, I
You
ain't
can
got that
break
much
it up.
time.
You can do 3 minutes at a time. But her story was interesting. Her story did raise other people, red flags to go back and have the conversation. And that is something that I talk about here on Two Black Mothers all the time, that you need to have the conversation. You need to have conversations when you're starting off dating someone, when you're getting to know someone. Have those conversations with those individuals so you can get to know them. And that's where she failed. She
And
didn't
I
have those
agree. I
conversations.
agree, but those are not taught behaviors for a
Okay.
lot of people in a lot of their culture. A lot,
Mhm.
especially people of color. Our
How
culture
about that?
problem
Black?
is when you normally a
Is
bride
she
is
thick or not?
she's reared and prepared for someone, and then someone has to give a cow or give land or what have you, what have you, what have you. You have most parents, the one thing they want to see their daughter do is to graduate from college, have a phenomenal career, and have a great husband, whether he's an ass or not. Okay, have a husband, and instead
Mhm.
of them rearing her or teaching her, okay, you have to possess these qualities within yourself first. And we can't have mama and daddy issues where, okay, I want to marry my mother. There's no such thing. I want to marry my daddy. There's no such thing. Or where we make each other our gods,
Mm,
whether it's the protection god or the best sex god, whatever god
mm.
you're looking for. I think it's just not healthy. And that's where the toxicity that we're already carrying around with, the PTSD that we are, all of us have some form or another in it. It just builds and builds and builds, and no one's learning anything. And then a lot of social media, in my opinion, is rigged to do it's very low vibrational, very
Very,
low
very.
Mhm.
vibrational. And then we keep buying into it, and we're wondering why we're having low vibrational experiences. And I have learned that I'm not a human being. I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. And
Mm.
Mhm.
everything that we go through will happen in the supernatural first before it happens in the natural. And if my thought's negative, then my life is going to be negative. So when are we gonna relearn that? Or just like Mr. Zoe said earlier, whether this young lady, whether she's my cousin, my sister, my aunt, or just a damn stranger, why can't I just be a gentleman and protect her? And why can't she just accept my protection without thinking I want to get in her pants or want her
Mhm.
paycheck? Why can't we just do that for one another, especially within ourselves and then with our own community? And when I say in our own community, anyone that has hue in their skin,
Mhm.
why can't we just get there? That I believe once we get there, all of this will change. But we have so many mechanisms that weren't even designed for us to succeed in the beginning. And so now we have brothers and sisters this is now acting like other people that we say we don't even like.
Yes. So I want to hold on that, and I want to switch gears just a little bit, still
Okay.
in the dating realm of things.